Hello, welcome to my second tutorial on conditional statements. I'm really sorry, I didn't know the video would be cut short, but yeah. Okay, carrying on from the last tutorial, we got to the return 0 line of code. So this line relates back to the int main, the function, the name of the function, and because it's an integer, we named it an integer, the function expects us to return a value. So in order for us to just make it easier for ourselves, we return 0, so we can find out at the end, after we run the program, that the program has run smoothly. So looking over the code, everything looks pretty fine. So now just one little thing before we test the program. This little star here means that we need to save the updated code just before we build it and run it. So after we click save, this star should be gone. So yeah, that's just a reminder. So that's, the star's gone. It's just a reminder to tell you to save the document before you run it, build it and run it. So let's build it and see if we get any errors. Okay, no errors. So we can run it. Okay, enter the student's mark. Okay, let's enter a really small mark. So we're expecting to get an output of the students failed. So okay, the student has failed to achieve the minimum pass mark. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, if we run it again, and let's put 60 this time, the student just passed it. Exactly what we were expecting. And we will do a greater number, so let's say 89. Okay, yep, the student achieved a pass mark of at least 60. So yeah, that's fine. That's exactly how we planned and wanted it to go. So yeah, that's just a small program just to show you how if statements and else if statements work. So yeah, okay, I will be moving on to the next type of conditional statements, which is a switch statement. So let's take the scenario of that we have 4 different fruits and we want the user to pick one of them, one being a banana, apple, pear and orange. So let's make a program for this. Let's just clear all this. So for us to be able to create this program that we wanted to create, we need to declare a variable, and this variable will be just numbers. So we'll say int say a number equal to 0. It's always good programming practice to assign the variable straight away. So let's go on, and firstly we need to ask the user to actually input a value so we can save the value into that variable. Let's say please select a number, a fruit just put in brackets by its number. And then if we want to create a list within the text without having to write so many lines of code, we can just use a \n after we want to create a new line. It's the same, it does the same job as endl at the end of the statement. It's just within the speech marks. So we can say one banana. Then let's create a new line. And say 2 is pear. Create a new line. 3 is an apple. 4 is orange. And then we can actually write our end L followed by the semicolon. Don't forget to write the semicolon at the end. And then let's write a small statement, say ask the user to input a value. Okay. And then with this value, we need to save it into our variable called a number. And let's use the character input and say a number followed by a semicolon. And then let's write a small statement, say save the value into the variable. Okay, now we can proceed to our switch statement. So we have everything we need. By now we should have the number of the corresponding fruit. So all we need now is to actually output something with that selection. So we can say now with a switch. Always be careful with using capitals in programming, because it can just change a word to change a word that we actually need to just a word that's not recognized by the program. So just remember that it goes blue, or it should go into a different color. So we can say switch, then in brackets a number. And now as we did with if statements, we open up the curly brackets as well. And then we can say case. Case is the different options we have. So you can say case 1 followed by a colon, not a semicolon this time, a colon. And we can now write a cout function, cout statement, sorry, and say I don't like bananas. And end the line here. Okay, and we can write a statement saying banana statement. It's always good to write statements as well, because it just reminds you of when you're going through your code, it just reminds you of what you're actually doing, and so you actually know what you're doing in the program. So let's go on to case 2 colon and cout pears. I like pears. And the difference between switch statements and if statements is that with switch statements you have to write a statement for each and every option you're giving the user. Whereas, let's say in the if statement program we did earlier, all we have to do was, if a number is more than 60, then output this. But if we use the switch statement for that type of scenario, we would have to write 100 different cases. So it's always good to have a variety of options, of types of ways of doing things. So say pair statement, then case 3. Okay, keep watching and just try and notice something that I can add or I may have missed out, because I am purposely leaving out different things just so at the end we can go through it and see and benefit our learning. So see out what's 3 apples. I love apples. And always watch out for spelling errors as well, because the program really doesn't check for spelling errors, so that's your job. See, oranges are nice, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we have our cases now, and it looks pretty good to me. We have all our statements, and it doesn't seem that we have any faults in our program. But to the naked eye, we don't have any faults in the program. So technically this could run perfectly, right? But no, I've missed out a very important thing in this program, and it's vital for cases and switch statements, sorry. And it's called a break. And a break goes right after we finish our case. And what a break does is a break simply tells the program that we want to end the program here, right after we've just found what we're looking for. So let's say that we've chose one banana, and the program's gone all the way here and it said, okay, it's output, I don't like bananas. If there's no break at the end of that statement, then the program will simply just keep going through the program until it finds a break, and it won't find, obviously here it won't find another break. So yeah, a break is a very integral part of a switch statement. So let's, oh no, break, what am I doing? Let's break here. Okay, so let's save this quickly. Let's build it, hopefully